what I could do is give a bit of background on the division in general.
Okay, could you tell us your name, please?
I'm Lisa Hadway. I'm the administrator for Department of Land and Natural Resources, Division of Forestry and Wildlife. And we essentially manage 1 million acres in the state of Hawaii in forest reserves, natural area reserves, game management areas, and plant sanctuaries. And one of the significant roles that we do is wildland firefighting. So we have basically every single Division of Forestry and Wildlife employee is trained in wildland firefighting. So when we have these fire events, of which we're seeing a dramatic increase in the number of fires, over 100 acres, with climate change, we expect that to even increase more. Additionally, when you look at the percentage of acreage burned in comparison with the Western states, we're actually on par with the Western states. So this fire was one of those situations where it was a very eye-opening experience, eye-opening for us in terms of the potential of what we could see happening as, you know, we're seeing a significant decline in rainfall, warming temperatures. We're just going to expect to see this more and more. And when you have trees like this burn, the understory was completely exposed, bare dirt, and we expected that to just run off down to the coral reefs and impact water quality there as well. So when you look down below us here, you can see the stands of essentially dead trees and the understory filling in. That's a tinderbox and a fire hazard waiting to happen there. And so we really needed to, with the emergency proclamation and now with the logging going on, this was a way to actually improve the area, and we're hopefully eventually going to see some native trees back in some of these areas where there's been plantation eucalyptus for some time. And I'm really grateful to the staff that's worked so hard on this project to make it a reality, and to get, you know, the expertise of Craig here to work on this. And it's a great partnership, and also to provide energy for the island.
Lisa, it's my understanding that this is probably the largest, or maybe the only single logging operation in Hawaii history like this. Is that right? Do you know?
Indeed, this is definitely, in my career, I've been working with DLNR for almost 15 years, and in all of that time, we have another significant managed timber area on Hawaii Island, and we're actually looking forward to that potentially going out to bid very soon. The environmental assessment is out, but this is the largest operation we've had. And I think, you know, given that the biomass plant is here on this island, I think this is a great way to help us improve this forest for recreation, for watershed, and for restoration of this area.
You said that that the fire was on par with those in the Western states. What do you mean by that?
In general, in Hawaii, we're seeing the percentage of land area burned. So we're talking about the entire state. We just had 2 really dramatic fires on Oahu, for example. We're seeing that our fire, the percentage of land area burned is actually very similar to what they're seeing in the Western states. So fire is a really significant part of what Division of Forestry and Wildlife does. We cooperate with all of the agencies. The counties play a really big role, but we're the wildland firefighting crews. We fight fire on state land. We'll maybe wait for the helicopter to go by. One of the things that we face is, you know, we have a lot of fire equipment from the 1970s that our crews are using. And a lot of that equipment we don't even have replacement parts for. So one of the things we're really working with the legislature this year is having them recognize that, you know, not only are our fire crews part of fighting these kinds of fires, but we also play a significant role in helping clear trees during the Isel hurricane event on the Big Island. And also we're trained in emergency response, so incident command. So anytime there's an event, we're there to help civil defense, whether it's a hurricane, a fire, or a lava flow.
Apart from, sorry, Kim, I didn't mean, apart from the safety hazard for the public, if you just left this forest alone after this fire, what would be the eventual outcome in terms of ecologically? What would the forest be like?
Well, as you mentioned, if you can see down below here, and it would be good to get a shot of that, you have all of these, essentially dog hair monostand of eucalyptus with huge, standing dead, essentially snags. So this forest would be an incredible safety hazard. Very little diversity, so you can't even, there'd be not much use by any sorts of critters or birds, and also it's impenetrable, so even for the recreational component, if you had hunting happening in here, you're not going to have wildlife able to use that kind of habitat there.
And can you just, since we're not in there, can you kind of